Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my in-depth look at the new moon in Gemini that is happening on the 30th of May. So is this a time to explore our thoughts and our thinking and the way we communicate? Is it a time to discover new ways to sow the seeds of intent with the energy of the new moon? Let's have a look, because there are some quite thought-provoking and kind of interesting energies around this new moon in Gemini. Let's see. So there are, as I said, a few notable energies to mention. Saturn, who is our planet of restriction, boundaries, my big boy Saturn, who is all about the rules and sticking to the law. Saturn is making a really hard angle, a square, to the ruling planet of Gemini, Mercury, which of course is currently retrograde. And Mercury is now retrograde in Taurus. Hence we've got this difficult angle, this challenging angle from Saturn to Mercury. Mercury, as I'm sure you're all very well aware now, is our planet of communication, of thinking, of thought, of social media, of new ideas. And I think that with this energy of retrograde Mercury in Taurus, with this hard angle from Saturn, we might find there are frustrating restrictions for us, especially if we're trying to address financial matters. But there is some good news, because retrograde Pluto, the smallest of my big boys, he's small because he's a dwarf planet and he lives in the Kuiper belt, but it doesn't make him any the less powerful. Pluto is very powerful. Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn. And because Pluto is making a harmonious aspect to Mercury, he brings light at the end of the tunnel. So it just goes to show that if we show ourselves a little patience, we will be able to complete any tricky kind of communication tasks. For instance, accounts, tax forms, collating receipts, all those joyous activities that, apart from probably Virgo and maybe Capricorn, maybe Taurus, don't really relish doing. The other really invigorating energy we have around this new moon is the conjunction between Mars, our planet of action, energy, our god of war. Mars rules Aries. Mars is in Aries, conjunct our expansive outer big boy Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of luck, of opportunity. So they are both together in Aries. So I do feel that this ongoing Mars-Jupiter energy is telling us that any new ideas that we plan to initiate with this powerful new moon energy, they're really going to be helped by these two planets. So think of how you can be active in your talk, expansive in your ideas, and full of innovative kind of action that gets things moving. But I wonder how the planet will fare, because we certainly are going through some pretty tough times on good old planet Earth. I think we're still likely to see the fluctuations that we have been seeing in the economy, and especially in currencies. And this is in part due to retrograde Mercury in Taurus. But also, I think, because of the ongoing presence of Uranus Uranus in Taurus, our big boy that brings shocks, surprises, earth movement, all manner of difficult and frustrating weather conditions. Another thing of that Mars-Jupiter energy could be, forest fires. That could be happening in some parts of the world with that Mars-Jupiter energy. So I do feel that it's wise to sit tight and not commit to plans that involve big investments currently. Once the new moon energy starts to unfold and Mercury moves direct on June 3rd, then we can really benefit from the retrograde Pluto transformative energy that'll be helping countries see what changes they can implement to ease the cost of living crisis. The new moon also gives the opportunity for transformative talks at this time, especially between warring nations. Let's see how Ukraine fares at this time, because I do feel that Mars-Jupiter energy in Aries will be bringing these matters to a head, and they will need to be addressed. The positive side of the new moon is that we might see that there are constructive talks that take place over the next few weeks as various world leaders try to enable both Ukraine and Russia to find some kind of peaceful conclusion to what's going on between them. How are we going to fare personally? So when the moon is in Gemini and it's new, it gives us all our annual opportunity to think about how to improve our communication and listening skills. It's a great time to begin writing that novel. We've all got a novel inside us, or to write blogs about a subject that you're passionate about. Because both Jupiter and Mars are conjunct in Aries, you will feel fired up to express yourself, whether it's through the written word or the spoken word. Maybe think about doing podcasts about something you feel strongly about. And also, another thing I think we have to do with this new moon, especially because Mercury is retrograde, is look at the conversations you have with yourself. Are you authoritarian Saturn to yourself? Going, that wasn't very well done. That's not good. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't think that. Or do you have the voice of transformative Pluto in your head, giving you some ideas of how to use the situations in your life in a constructive and positive way? Because the presence of Venus, who rules Taurus, our planet of relationship, our goddess of love and value and money, the presence of Venus in Taurus reminds us that first and foremost, we have to value ourselves. So, thank goodness, for cycles of the moon, for the cycles of life, because each new moon reminds us that new potentials come, and it gives us a chance each and every month to begin again. So I'm now going to give you a little bit of information about where the new moon in Gemini is falling in your particular horoscope. So this is for the sun sign. So it's about listening to your sun sign and also paying attention to your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. And as I've said many times before, If you don't know what your rising or ascendant sign is, please just drop me a message. I can work it out in a nanosecond, and it will just make your enjoyment of these videos much more exciting. So let's start with Aries. Aries, for you, this new moon, of course, is in the part of your chart that is very much to do with communication. Do you need, Aries, to think of some more innovative ways to get your point across? Do you need to actually kind of look back at how you've perhaps talked about certain matters and whether there's a different way that you could put them across? Because maybe there's someone out there who is not getting the point. So that can be a use of this new moon energy. The other use of this energy is to think about, what do you want to put out there into the world in terms of new energy to do with new ideas? How can you use social media in a better way for yourself to publicize the work that you do? And you know, Aries, use this wonderful energy of the Mars-Jupiter conjunction in your sign, because that's going to be firing you up. You really are going to be firing on all cylinders with the energy of this new moon in Gemini. Take advantage of it. Sow new seeds of communication. Open up new doors or new pathways with the people that you need to get your point across to. That might actually help. Okay, let's move on to Taurus. Taurus. Well, you have a lot of interesting energy around at the moment because, of course, not only do you have Venus, your ruling planet, now gracing your sign, making you feel much more luxurious and attractive to the world in general. It's making you feel loving towards everybody, I think, when you have Venus in your sign. This new moon for you is in the part of your chart specifically to do with your finances and your self-worth. So use this energy and the fact that you've got Mercury that rules Gemini retrograde in your sign to look at how you can address the way you budget your finances. You know, I really feel you need to kind of learn more about better ways to budget with this kind of energy. It's not something that you would normally struggle with, Taurus, because Taurus, you're good with your money and your finances. But this is giving you an extra special opportunity to really look at the way you budget, and also the new moon can bring new opportunities of new financial growth. There may be new income sources that start to come to you with this energy. And I think we just need to mention that Mars-Jupiter conjunction in your 12th house. Wow, are you going to be having some awakening aha moments with that kind of energy there? So make the most of this energy and enjoy. Gemini. So for you, of course, Gemini, this is in your sign. So this is about how you're seen in the world. This is about, Gemini, how you come across to people. And you have the opportunity with the new moon here to really look at how you can change that, ramp it up a bit, refine the way you talk to people, refine the way you talk to yourself. Remember, with that Venus in Taurus in your 12th house, you need to really be aware of that kind of value that your own inner world has. Sometimes you're not so good at realizing that the inner has as much value as what we see on the outside. But in general, this new moon energy for you, Gemini, is really good for initiating new ideas and new projects. So enjoy. And now let's move on to Cancer. Cancer. This is a reflective new moon for you. I think, you know, and I've said this before, but I think in those sort of couple of months leading up to your kind of birthday, you find yourself in more of a reflective mood, thinking about what you've achieved in the last year, where you go from here, what you want to invite into your life in the next kind of 12 months. And with this new moon in the part of your chart that is to do with that inner you, this is very much about finding new ways, better ways, complementary ways to talk to yourself. Because the more you understand you, the more everyone outside will understand you. And I think it's also about finding some better ways to manage your routine, your day-to-day routine. That is also a message for you in this new moon in Gemini energy. So let's now move on to Leo. Leo, this is about your hopes, wishes. It's about larger groups of people. Are you planning to be running some workshops or facilitating some big event? Because this kind of energy could see you initiating that or getting the green light to go ahead with it. So have a think about what that may mean for you, Leo. Because, you know, we have that Jupiter-Mars conjunction for you in the part of your chart that is to do with travel and matters at a distance and higher learning. Are you going to be traveling? Something connected with some project you're working on, something that would involve the spoken word and you communicating? Because that's the kind of energy that I think is around for you, Leo. Also with Venus, the ruling planet of Taurus, currently in the part of your chart to do with your public image, I think you're going to find people are very attracted to what you're doing in the world, your soul path. I think they're going to be fascinated by what you're starting to come up with and put out there. And this new moon in Gemini energy is really helping you with that. Okay, let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, this new moon is really giving you an absolutely glorious opportunity to start afresh with your career. This doesn't mean necessarily a completely new career. It might do for some, but I think you're going to be starting something fresh, a fresh path, a fresh avenue that involves a lot of communicating, a lot of writing things down, a lot of working with social media to promote whatever it is you're working on. It's lovely energy. And that energy of Jupiter and Mars in an area of your chart that is to do with transformation could really see you actually managing to attract joint investments. People are going to be interested in investing in what you're proposing. Venus in Taurus, in the part of your chart to do with travel. I think for you with this particular new moon is actually about how you can learn new ways to adapt and use anything that involves learning and knowledge in a way that improves your self-value. So maybe consider going on a course, a self-development workshop, or doing something online that would help you with that. Let's move on to Libra. Libra. Well, for you, it is in the part of your chart that is to do with long distance travel. So I think there's a lot of communication going on about where you're going next and talking about travel plans, ideas that are coming up for you of what you would like to certainly start putting in place over the next few months. The Aries energy of the Mars-Jupiter conjunction is really firing up your significant close relationships. I mean, wow, this is exciting energy to have here. And if you and your significant kind of partner are away traveling together at the moment, it could certainly get quite passionate. So just to tell you about that. Let's also look at Scorpio, because Scorpio for you, this new moon, is in the sector of your chart that is actually about joint finances and other people's money. If you're waiting for some funds to be realized, then this new moon could see a lot of communication going on about these matters. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the next full moon, whether that brings some kind of solution or conclusion to any outstanding debts. For you, the Taurus energy of Venus in Taurus is in the part of your chart to do with the significant relationship in your life. So you're actually going to be enjoying, I think, some very pleasant times and loving times with that special person in your life. The Jupiter-Mars conjunction in Aries for you is telling you to get out there and get fit. It's in the part of your chart that really is about your health and routine and your health routine. So do some things that will really use and energize that energy to make you feel more attractive, better about yourself, and get you out of too much thinking in your head. Because Scorpio, you've gone a little bit down a windy path of kind of self-doubt and thinking and dwelling on dark things. Get out of that, Scorpio, because there is light at the end of the tunnel, because Pluto is making a lovely aspect to this new moon. So that is showing that there is some transformation that can come for you through this new moon. Let's now have a look at Sagittarius. So, my Archer, Sagittarius, let's see what's happening with your significant, close personal relationships. And if you're not in a significant relationship, then the new moon brings the opportunity for that to change. It may be that you might meet somebody over the internet. Maybe you're doing a little bit of swiping right and left, and somebody pops up and you decide to meet. That could be usage of this energy. The other interesting energy for you is, of course, that Pluto is making a nice aspect to this new moon. So whatever it is that is developing in your significant relationships, it's really going to be really changing the energy for you at home, so that you're going to be feeling a lot more comfortable about the way things are unfolding. Now let's have a look at Capricorn. Because, of course, this for you is in the part of your chart that is to do with your working routine. So I think you need to find some new ways to work your routine, new ways to communicate with your work colleagues. It's also a kind of an opportunity to address any health issues, make those doctor's appointments. Don't let something kind of fester. Deal with it. I also think you're in two minds about which way to go with a certain project or working way of life that you've got. Should I work more at home? Should I work more in the office? I think these are some of the issues that might come up for you, Capricorn. But you will address them. So let's also look at Aquarius, our water bearers, not barriers. And yet, interestingly, Aquarius, of course, is an air sign. So it's actually nothing about water. And yet the symbol, which is like a wavy line, looks like water, but it's not. They're actually two snakes. And there is a story attached to it, which escapes me right now, but I will find it and bring it at another time. So for you, Aquarius, you're going to have the opportunity with this new moon to start getting out more, enjoying time with groups of friends, and even a little bit of romance could be part of that. This new moon is about, it's like I've got this vision of you having little small parties, even if it's just 4 or 6 people, and really enjoying communicating with them and talking, having fun, and like brainstorming new ideas together for new projects, new ideas that you've got. This is a lovely energy for you. And let's also look at where the Mars-Jupiter energy is for you, Aquarius, because it is actually in the part of your chart to do with your finance. So I wonder whether we'll see an injection of activity, because with Jupiter in this part of your chart, it's certainly giving you a sort of a taste of what you can expect in 2023, when this big boy will enter this part of your chart formally and start sprinkling fairy dust on your financial status. So that is good energy, and the Mars energy there is giving you the ability to look at ways to increase your income. Finally, we come to Pisces, my little fishes swimming in opposite directions. Pisces, this for you is about what's going on at home. Maybe you've moved. Maybe you're in different surroundings. Maybe you're thinking of moving. And I think this is about you making your new home more kind of, more your own space. It's like you want some space. And you know, Pisces, you have these kind of hidden depths. Your ruling planet, Neptune, keeps you very much in this world of no boundaries. Gemini in this part of your chart, to do with your home base and your family, means that I think you will communicate better with your family if you address the boundaries of your living space, whether that means moving to a new location or just creating a kind of boundaried space in your current home. Remember, we've got that hard aspect from Saturn to this new moon. Saturn is imploring you to find good boundaries. It's not something you find easy, Pisces. So just bear that in mind, because you've also got the transformative energies of Pluto that are going to help you transform through this new moon energy, you're going to find more thoughtful ways to communicate your point. And in general, this new moon energy is really going to serve you well. So there we have it, the new moon on May the 30th. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining me for this new moon and this in-depth look at the new moon. Please comment, like, subscribe. That would be fantastic. And I'd love you to really enjoy some of the other videos on my channel, especially the ones I do with conscious medium Brandon Russ. We're doing a series of really innovative, interesting talks, all very Gemini, where our thoughts are dashing all over the place. So check those out and check out his channel too. He's a very interesting astrologer and a very entertaining one. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.